If you guys been following this channel for a while, you know I'm a retired U.S. Army first sergeant, and I spent 33 years in the system, 21 active, the rest guard reserve time. I have seen the Army change from when I first came in. Like, I literally enlisted in 1986, and the first question out of the recruiter's mouth was like, "Do you suck dick?" And I was like, "What?" I was shocked he asked me that, because I gotta ask that. And then we went to don't ask, don't tell, and then you have seen what happened in the Biden administration. Now, I retired in 2018, April of 18. I was medically retired, and I fought it tooth and nail. But let's just be honest. I got to see women graduate Ranger School. The standards get watered down to basically pointlessness. And even President Trump and several senators really couldn't get any answers of why all of a sudden women were making it through Ranger School. One of them was a 38-year-old single mother, which in my opinion is impossible, especially if they kept the standard the same when I went. And I hate to be that guy. Back in my day when it was hard, it was a really tough course, mainly punishing, not so much on the learning side. But it is what it is. Now, I watched the Hegseth speech. I did a video directed to Hegseth about a week and a half ago, or no, about a week prior to his big speech. And he talked about 3 or 4 of the bullet points, and hopefully he'll get to the rest. Mainly because if they want to keep a 100% volunteer force, they're going to have to make some big changes in regards to leadership, training, standards, grooming, the whole deal, because it's literally become nothing but a shit show. I mean, I still have friends of mine who are still in the service, and several of them are like, screw it, I'm dropping my packet. And then they heard Hegseth speak, and they're like, well, maybe I'll hold off for a while and see how this is going to play out. Now, I've watched several interviews of former officers who went after Hegseth because she doesn't have the experience. Meaning, he doesn't have the experience of backstabbing and screwing people over and doing all of the crazy shit, rotting on some officer's staff for a decade, stuck in officer limbo land, which is one of the main reasons after I got my 4-year degree, I did not become an officer, because I was in the business of leading troops. And in 33 years of service, I did it for roughly 31 years. Most officers come in and they're a section leader or a platoon leader when they're a lieutenant. Maybe they'll get a company command, and very few get battalion command. Meaning, if they don't get a company command and they don't do well, they literally rot on a staff doing nothing but getting coffee, maybe doing some reports. They're not leading troops. They're not leading from the front. I want to have officers in charge of any of my relatives who go into the Army that have some goddamn experience, who know how to read a map, who aren't paralyzed with doubt or fear or crippled by their own pride. That gets people fucking killed. In fact, it's my opinion that if you really want to become an officer, or if the Army wants to maintain the officers, they should pick them from the enlisted, from people who are tested, have made the cut, met the standards, and then they're worthy of the investment of all that time and money it takes to make somebody an officer. Because today, literally, people are captains of the chess team, the debate team. Maybe they were a captain on their tennis club or whatever. That doesn't mean shit. And I've talked to many officers who got the nod to go to West Point, and they literally, in my opinion, didn't deserve it, and they squandered it. And we're going to go through some of that shit today on this show. It's going to be a shit show because there's a lot of people who are freaking out. And I could hear the assholes slamming shut as soon as he started speaking and going in on these guys, because we have way too many field grade officers. The word on the street is 40% of the full bird colonels and generals out there are going to get a pink slip, meaning they have to drop their retirement packet, and it's not going to be optional. I have seen that happen, and it's ugly. Do I care? No. You want to know what I care about? The soldiers on the ground, just like when I was on active duty. I was always that NCO. When shit was going south, I'd be out there in the rain, the cold, the heat, doing everything my dudes would do, and then some. I was always that NCO who ran top cover. Hell, I even lied for some of my guys and got waylaid for it when I got caught. That's what you do when you're the man and everyone's looking up at you. I want to have officers in charge of the guys worthy of that title, because right now they don't. All right, Steve, bring it on.
What?
Let's
God
do
damn it.
it.
Quick anecdotal story about the kind of officer that you're talking about. We had, when I was on G5, which is an Army level 1-star staff, I was the operations sergeant. We got a captain who was dead in the water, and he was on like year 19 and knew that he was never making major. And he came in. This was a good dude, but he did not fillet the star-shaped knob.
Mm-hmm.
He was not an ass kisser. And the colonel that we had, fortunately, we had a really good colonel, looked at him and said, you know what, you're getting a coaster a year. And we just kind of, sent him to a couple of things that I go along and help him through liaison meetings with Rock First Corps or that kind of thing. But normally when we were back in garrison and stuff, the colonel would be like, go tend to your family, Bob. Just go tend to your family, Bob. We're okay. You get because I know you're fucked. Mm-hmm. So this is your coaster year. And he was a good dude, but he was exactly that kind of officer. And it's not necessarily because they're not competent. The problem a lot of the time with Captain Bob was that he wouldn't kiss ass.
That's right. He's not a good old boy.
He refused to lick boots. Now, that's the same thing that's going on with Hegseth. He only made major. That's fine. And everybody's like, oh, well, that's, oh, yeah. And it's exactly what you were talking about. They didn't have time to groom him to make sure that he also had compromised positions, that he also had compromised money, and he also had moved, because I know for a fact, I know firsthand that there are bank accounts out there that get used for shit.
Yep.
That's just reality.
The worst officer story I have, and I wasn't actually watching it. I was RTO, and I was at the battalion talk.
Yeah.
And we had I just came back with my LT, and I'm sitting there at the battalion meeting, and the battalion commander, actually brigade commander and the battalion commander there. And we had M60 tanks maneuvering. And they're like, we got to make sure everyone's not in the way because people get run over. That does happen.
It almost happened to me.
Yeah, and they're trying to get a position from this one LT who was a section leader. Mm-hmm. And literally, I swear to God, he's like, all right, yeah, my location is, I'm under the moon now. And the brigade commander was like, park your tank, stop moving, we'll come and get you in the morning.
Oh my God, I'm like, under the moon now.
Yeah, I'm literally like, I was a private, I was like an E2. And I look,
how does that even happen?
And like, I literally look at my lieutenant and he's just kind of like trying not to laugh out loud.
Oh my God. How the fuck does that even happen?
I don't know. I have no idea, but that is the worst story I have in regards to officers just being incompetent. That was, and it took only like a minute to hear that. I was like, oh my God. Oh shit.
I'm just stunned at that.
I know. So was
For
I.
an armor officer, the navigation portion is like 70% of their job.
I know.
If you don't know where your element is, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No,
Or you just fucked your entire left flank or whatever.
yeah. You ran
Because
some people over because you don't know where
Yeah.
the fuck you are.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't call you they don't call leg infantry crunchies for no reason.
That's right. Wheel grease is what they call us.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Popp for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the meat gazer box.